Hello, everybody. Bernadette here, and today for my 30-day video blitz, I think it's day 8. I am going to be talking about are you being resourceful or are you complaining about resources? It doesn't really matter what kind of resources you have. If you want to build a business, if you want to build whatever, it's more important that you are resourceful. Okay, so I want people to understand, when I first got started in this business, if anybody could say that they didn't have the resources to get started in a business, it's me. I didn't have the money. I had no money. I was a single mom struggling, so I had no money. Never done any kind of network marketing before. So I didn't have the education. None of my family, except for my mother and my brother, has ever, joined me in business. So, I didn't have those kind of resources. Like I said, I was a single mom. I was selling jam and making jam and selling it at farmers markets. I had 2 kids that I was taking care of. I was working part-time for 3 different real estate agents, and I was working for a real estate investors association. So I didn't have time either. So the biggest complaint that people have is what? They say that they don't have time, they don't have money, and they don't have education, or they don't know how. So when I first got started, I had no money, I had no time, and I had absolutely no education. So I became resourceful. The company had a lower package that we could get involved in. I couldn't afford the big package. It was like, I think $500, and you got either a stock options course or you got a real estate investing course, and then you promoted financial solutions. Well, I didn't have the $500. I just didn't. I mean, my rent was $800. I couldn't give $500 of my rent money in order to start this business. I think I had $160 in the bank. And in order to get started with the lower package, it was going to cost me $150. But there was a way that I could work myself up to making the same amount of money that other people who had come in with the big package made. So I became resourceful. That was my focus in the business. I had to do everything that I could. I had to use every hour that I had. So, it was 10 o'clock at night. I finally got the kids down, finally cleaned the house up, did everything that I needed to do. And that's when I started getting in touch with people. I got in touch with people via email. I set up phone calls with them the next day. I used the limited amount of time that I did have, or I created, if you will, to make sure that I was able to invite people and introduce them to somebody who had way more resources than I had. I mean, she was doing really well. She was and had been in the company for a bit, was making over $10,000. She had credibility, so I had none of that when I first got started. So the best thing for people to do is make sure that instead of focusing on your resources, become resourceful. If you are looking at a business and you have a huge why and you want to do things differently, and provide a different lifestyle for your family, then you need to become resourceful, right? You need to utilize little bits of time and leverage the people who are in your group. And you're right, Reggie Myers, the desire will actually drive the need to do the work. And I know sometimes people say, I don't have the time to do the work. Well, you eke out the time. You make the time. You make the time work for you. You make the little time that you have work for you. And you leverage the people who are in your business, whether you're in my company, which is Wakaya, whether you're in another company, whether you're doing real estate. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The key is to leverage the people who are around you, leverage the experts that are around you. That's becoming resourceful. If you don't have the education, if you've never done network marketing, if you've never done real estate, well, there's people who are around you who have leveraged their education, leveraged their knowledge. I know in network marketing, people are all about sharing their knowledge and sharing things with this business. So leverage those people. So you don't have money. Maybe you want to run a meeting or something like that. That's okay. Become resourceful. There's a lot of different restaurants that are out there that will let you hold a meeting in the back of their restaurant, and all you got to do is buy a burger and a soda. Become resourceful so that you don't need that. You don't need to spend all of that money that you don't have. If you don't feel like you have credibility, and trust me, I had no credibility. A broke single mom, I had no credibility whatsoever. Nobody would have wanted to go into business with me. Again, you have people who you have the ability to leverage. You have people who are, many people in our company, they have Andre Vaughn. I've got Annie Trolinek. At the time when I first got started, I had Annie Trolinek. I had no credibility. None whatsoever. I had no credibility. But I used Annie's credibility. So I didn't have my own, but I became resourceful and I used her credibility. I had very little time. So the time that I did have, I made sure that it was focused effort. It wasn't, I wasn't like trying to figure out what to do. I knew that my one goal was to invite people and get them to look and to introduce them to somebody who had credibility. So I had an hour here, an hour there, maximum maybe 5 hours a week that I was actually able to spend focused on building my business. So I made sure that during that time period, it was focused activity. It wasn't scattered activity. I wasn't, sorting my paper clips. I wasn't doing any of that kind of stuff. I wasn't shuffling the papers. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was looking at the list of names that I had created for the people to talk to, and I was reaching out to them. If it was 10 o'clock at night and I had an hour, I was reaching out to them in email and I was saying, hey, I'm going to be available from 4 to 5 tomorrow. I'm going to give you a call. So that they were expecting my phone call, and I was using the resources that I had. So very little bit of time, very little resources, no education, no money whatsoever, and no credibility. So I leveraged the people who are around me, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. There's always going to be a group of people who are around you that you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to leverage their knowledge. You're going to be able to leverage their education. You're going to be able to leverage the fact that maybe they're a little bit different around people than you. Maybe they have the ability to inspire activity and inspire people to grow and inspire things. Maybe you don't feel like you're there yet. I know I didn't feel like I was there yet. I didn't feel like I could inspire anybody. So I borrowed that inspiration from the people who I was in business with. And, you just have to do that. And maybe you're someone out there who says, I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I can do this. And you know what? That's okay. I know that everybody can do whatever it is that they want to do. Again, leverage. Borrow somebody else's belief. For me, I had to borrow Bill Andreoli's belief in me that I could build an incredible business. Here he was, the owner of a company with thousands of representatives, and he told me to go be a rock star. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I could be a rock star. But here was this uber successful guy who owned companies and was telling me to go be a rock star. So I said, well, if I don't believe in myself, then maybe I can borrow on his belief. And I fueled myself with his belief in me. And eventually I started believing in myself. Know that when you're looking around, at the people that you may have gone into business with, that they went into business with you for a reason. They went into business with you because they saw something. A lot of times, especially in network marketing, people think, oh, well, you know, if someone can fog a mirror, we're going to get them into business. Well, we're not looking for people who can just fog a mirror. We're not looking for, you know, dead weight as somebody who is going to, you know, buy a position and one time that's where they're going to stay. We're looking for people who are self-motivated, positive individuals who want to do life with us. So know that even if you don't believe in yourself, you've got a group of people out there who do believe in you. So borrow their belief. Make sure that you leverage and become resourceful. Become resourceful. Use what's out there. We have the internet. We have things like Facebook Live. We have so many different ways of touching and reaching people nowadays that are free. They don't cost any money. It doesn't cost anything to do a Facebook Live. It doesn't cost anything. And even if you decided that, now maybe, you know, I don't want to get in front of people and talk to them like I'm talking to my phone or like I'm talking to myself, you know, start a blog and write a blog so that you're kind of behind the scenes, you know. Do a Facebook ad. It's very little money. I mean, you can do a Facebook ad for as little as $10. There's so many different things that you can do with limited resources nowadays that you can actually utilize to build an empire. So make sure that you focus not on the resources, because you can leverage the resources of those around you, and make sure that you focus on, you know, always put your why out there. But, you know, leverage resources, leverage other people's belief in you, and you will be able to go out there and build that empire. And you, Reverend Reggie Myers, are definitely going to build an empire. So I love you all. I'm going to tell you again, keep smiling, guys, because the world needs more of that. They definitely need more of that. So keep smiling and go make it a great day.